I'm the art ambassador of Berkeley, and this is Berkeley Artbeat. This is a brand new program on Cable 28, and we are going to look at the extraordinary things happening in the arts in this city, the amazing amount of riches. And I want to emphasize things that are free so that everybody can have an opportunity to participate in what's going on in Berkeley. We're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about the Bay Area Dance Week, and we have Brandy Brands from Ashkenaz who's going to talk to us about that. We're going to talk about the Bay Area Book Fair, and Sammy Roberts is going to speak to us about that. And then we're going to talk about a play at the Marsh, and Steve Budd will be here to talk to us about that. So, Brandy, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So tell us about Bay Area Dance Week and what we should expect.
Bay Area National Dance Week is one of the coolest things, I think, in the nation right now. I mean, the National Dance Week. Bay Area National Dance Week, probably the coolest one, but I may be biased. But what happens during that week, this is coordinated here in the Bay Area by an amazing organization called Dancers Group. Mm-hmm. And this is a week where dance classes from Ocean Beach to Concord open up their doors for free for people to sample dance classes for free. You can check out the full schedule at dancersgroup.org. That's right. dancersgroup.org. They should have a full schedule, some links there for it. But it's an incredible event that lasts all week long. The few times that I've been an arts manager for a long time, so I've been overseeing open studios for a lot of the past 10, 15 years. But I've also, as somebody who loves dance, I've gotten to try out dozens of studios for free to kind of see what I loved and what I vibed with. And as you can imagine, in the diverse Bay Area, you can take everything from Afghani classical to capoeira to contemporary. It's just an amazing array, and this is an incredible chance to kind of low stakes, try out a little bit of everything, and find out what you love.
Yeah, I love Dance Week. I just adore it, and I try to do something different every time. And it's amazing. You can just try everything out. If you like something, you can sign up and keep going. But everything free. There are over 400 free classes. So it's and what specifically will be going on at Ashkenaz?
We're doing a series of things. We have about a dozen. I just counted them today, and it was either 12 or 15 different dance classes going on at Ashkenaz. And I think all of them will be free, if not most of them. And on April 29th in the evening, we're going to do a showcase of 6 of the classes. And we'll have information about all of Ashkenaz's classes out on a table there also. But that night we'll be showcasing several different classes, including one of my personal favorites, which is Kathy Ray's bachata dance class.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I hear that's very popular.
It's doing really well.
Yeah.
It's the first Thursdays of every month at Ashkenaz, and
Yeah.
it's just so much fun. And she teaches dance classes for beginners, and through her advanced class, and her advanced class is actually a highly competitive touring ensemble, and we're really proud to have this out of Ashkenaz.
Great, great. And when did you become executive director at Ashkenaz?
I'm still relatively new. I started in October of 2015.
Yeah.
Which in executive director years is pretty short time. So I'm approaching year 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what changes have you seen since you've been there?
It's a tough one. Ashkenaz is a lot of things to a lot of people, and it was formulated. It was founded in this incredible vision of diversity by the late David Nadel, who had this incredible forward-thinking person who had this idea of a community center that brings everybody together. What's different now, Ashkenaz in the founding days, 1973, was very much founded in folk dance, in Eastern European and Bulgarian and Balkan folk dance. It expanded very quickly to include the Caribbean, to include live music, to include Africa. I mean, he just started to expand around the world very quickly because he was an incredible, open-minded person who really wanted to showcase the shared humanity of people all over the world through music and dance. So what's next for Ashkenaz is we continue to do that. And at the same time, we have to bring in a bit of a focus because we live in an era where we have just so much information at our fingertips, and we're finding out more and more that we're being driven into categories, into demographic categories where we're given the same information and sold the same ideas and the same products over and over and over within our little bubble. If I can explain how that ends up being, what we end up doing, but what I meant by focus is we want to focus on the ligaments between cultures. Like we want to focus on the ways that a grand diversity is actually just different expressions of the same basic human ideas of love, of loss, of joy, of sadness, just the basic human experience, and the many different ways that it can be expressed. So one thing that I'm excited about with Bay Area National Dance Week is we do have, for our showcase, we do have a diversity of classes, and we do have on the performance showcase, you know, I think it's 6 or 7 different kinds of dance from around the world that we get to see. We're doing that with our calendar. We're starting an ethnic dance series, and we're launching it on June 2nd is the Berklee World Music Festival, another incredible Berklee institution where, very similar to Bay Area National Dance Week. It's free events all over town of world music. And we're going to showcase step, stomp, and tap dances from around the world.
Oh, great.
So we're bringing in flamenco, clogging, Appalachian clogging, I believe also Welsh clogging. We have Indian Kathak dance, and very excited. I was debating whether to keep this a surprise and tell you to look at the website, but I can't help myself. Linda Tillery and Keith Terry doing Wang Dang Doodle.
Oh, great.
So that's going to be a really, it's body percussion and dance with percussion. So we're going to, and then the night is going to culminate into a World Music Dance Festival with DJ Corey Mason.
Great.
That's a really long, it's hard to keep anything short when I'm talking about Ashkenaz and to the point because, we are trying to be a lot of things to a lot of people, but mostly we just want to get everyone in the same room together, multiple ethnicities, multiple generations, dancing together and sharing.
Yeah, what are you doing specifically to bring in young people?
Well, I mean, there's scratching the surface, you know, of course, just engaging in social media on a different level. But I think we also have to demonstrate how a lot of the ethnic traditions that we're showcasing are being expressed with different generations. Like we have to showcase and invite and demonstrate and spotlight how new generations are carrying the torches of different cultures. So we're trying to incorporate a lot more, it's not always fusion. Fusion is what comes to mind, but a lot more young people and new creators. We're trying to get more people, more up-and-coming artists in residency. We had one of my favorite shows that came to mind recently was Joanna Gras was touring from Cuba, and we somehow managed to get her for our stage. This is a really amazing artist, but she's bringing hip hop and jazz and Cuban traditional music together in just a really cool way. And we're working with a local choreographer who, until this project is complete, I have to try to speak of it in vague terms, but she is an amazing local choreographer that we're working on getting an African music and dance series together. She's an incredible contemporary dancer who comes from a Congolese lineage of music and dance, a very well-respected lineage. I probably just gave it away, but we're trying to get series of people creating new works, more creative development in Ashkenaz by new artists. So representation is one way of engaging younger audiences. And, you know, of course, reaching them through their channels. Of course, we're still posting the telephone polls because we'll always be doing that. But we're getting on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and really just getting people to talk to each other.
And the first event for Dance Week will be on the Sunday, the 29th.
Sunday the 29th is the showcase. And then the week after that, there'll be free classes all week.
Oh, great.
And then I think May 4th or 5th, the following Sunday, is when it comes to a close.
Great, great. Do you want to repeat the address again for the?
Oh yes, it's dancersgroup.org.
Great.
I know Bay Area National Dance Week has their own URL also, but you can definitely access it through dancersgroup.org.
Great. Okay. So thank you very, very much. And I think now we have a clip of Faye Carroll being honored by the city of Berkeley when she was performing at Ashkenaz. And let's see that now.
So moving on, I have the honor of presenting a proclamation in honor of the great Faye Carroll who's with us this evening. So I'm honored to declare today, March 13th, 2018, as Faye Carroll Day in the city of Berkeley. So, whereas Faye Carroll is an ambassador of African American music and embodies the profound message of jazz and the blues. And she is recognized by her peers as a consummate musician, an expert in the nuances and history of her art form. And whereas she has schooled many young musicians, some of whom have gone on to become well-known musicians in their own right, such as her daughter, Kito Gamble, Joe Warner, her current piano player, and Benny Green, who is currently one of the world's premier jazz pianists. And whereas when asked what is her greatest accomplishment, she answers, maintaining a standard of excellence in black music and passing on my knowledge, experience, and love of the art form to the greater community. And whereas Ashkenaz is honored to present Faye Carroll and Joe Warner in concert on March 17, 2018, just a few days from now, and for the Maestra series, and a Maestra is one who is a consummate in her craft, an inspirational teacher, and someone who stands firm, courageous, and beautiful in their community, sharing themselves without question. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Jesse Edegin, Mayor of the City of Berkeley, do hereby declare today, March 13, 2018, as Faye Carroll Day in the City of Berkeley. Congratulations.
It was great to see that clip of Faye Carroll. What an incredible Bay Area icon. And every month, the City Council in Berkeley, we honor some extraordinary person in the arts. And we honored Faye Carroll in March. And this month, we're going to be honoring an amazing photographer. And that'll be the last Tuesday of the month. And I'm going to tell people that if you have suggestions, I'm really listening to what people have to say about people who should be recognized and honored in our city. But now I have a very exciting guest about an event that I adore, and that's the Bay Area Book Festival. And Sammy Roberts is new on the job and will tell us something about the festival. And it's the last weekend in April, and be sure to show up for it. Most of the events are free, and so Sammy, tell us about it.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Well, it's our 4th year. Could you imagine? 4 years now for the Bay Area Book Festival. It was an instant hit from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's great.
It's grown by leaps and bounds, and we have upwards to 30,000 people who attend, 250 authors from all over the United States, 15 countries, spanning 15 venues, all right in the core of downtown Berkeley. And you know, even though it's large and growing and has such a wide scope, it's still very much an intimate experience. It's very literally where readers meet writers for a weekend, and so it's just a wonderful experience for all ages.
Yeah, you have special things for children, right?
Oh, we definitely have special things for
Yeah.
children. In fact, our outdoor fair, which is free to the public, has a majority of the activities are geared towards families. So we have a
Yeah.
big interactive family fun zone where we have museums and children's organizations from all over the East Bay and other parts of the Bay Area as well that come and provide and or host, I should say, hands-on activities, things like robot making and make your own books and book markers and the Lawrence Hall of Science does an activity where they bring dowels and rods and families can build big geodesic dome structures. So it's very, very hands-on, very interactive.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's wonderful that there's something for everybody.
Yes.
And then in Civic Center, in the main square, there's always something free going on.
Yes, so the outdoor fair is centered in and around Martin Luther King Civic Center Park. And so the Family Fun Zone is there. We also are going to have a carnival. We had a carnival last year. It was a big hit. So a lot of fun rides for the kids. We are also new this year on Saturday having an entire day's worth of activities hosted by the Grammy-nominated group out of Oakland called Alphabet Rockers. And they're all about social justice themed reading and music and dance. And so they're going to be doing a couple of community hip hop dance parties. One of them geared towards little babies, which is going to be wonderful. And then they'll also have arts and crafts and authors and all kinds of really fun things for the family, and that'll be all day on Saturday, and that is free.
Oh, that's fabulous. And this, I know we have this on the screen, but it's
BayBookFest.org, right?
So
exactly.
they can find a listing of everything going on.
Yes, and then on Sunday in the family area is very exciting as well. There'll be a series of authors as well as the Bay Area Children's Theater, and a lot of the groups that are coming out to host the family activities are from Berkeley and around the area. And one very exciting thing that's happening is that Habitat's 20th anniversary is this year, and rather than have an independent party, we said, well, maybe we could host your 20th anniversary at the book festival.
Wonderful.
So they'll be bringing their party to our party so that we can then collectively host, families from all over the Bay Area. So, so there's a lot, and of course, lots of children's authors as well will be there. And the outdoor fair also has 200 exhibitors that have everything from authors to items that are made out of books. We have a lovely woman, Rays of Sunshine, I believe is the name of the company, and she takes materials that come from books that are no longer in regular use. Whether it's the binding for the book or the cover from the book, and she makes accessories like handbags and satchels and what have you out of it. So another gentleman that takes items that from books and also just found objects and other recycled things that he finds out there, and he makes these bird houses that are made in part by books and then other. So it's just really amazing what you can do with books that in addition to reading them. So so we're really thrilled about. Everything that we have to offer that weekend, and most of which, as everything that's outdoors, is free. Oh, and I forgot, of course, the San Francisco Chronicle has a huge outdoor stage as well with a series of author presentations on that. So, there's definitely something for everyone. And if you want to capture, artists at some of our indoor venues, I mean, even those prices are quite reasonable. I mean, it's $10 per session, or you can get a wristband for $15 for the 2 days, and gives you, access to, to the various offerings that we have.
Say something more about the wristband.
So the wristband, you can buy, you can basically, it's like you buy a ticket online through our ticketing system. And it issues you a ticket that you then take to one of our box offices at the festival, and it's a wristband for the 2 days. So it's a general admission wristband. It doesn't guarantee you necessarily a particular seat or a seat at the event, but you take your wristband, you go to one of the indoor events 20 minutes before the festival, and generally speaking, you'll be able to find a seat. So it's a really good deal. And then also if you're a UC Berkeley student, this is definitely the year to come to the book festival if you haven't already, because we have an expanded partnership with UC, and the Arts and Design Initiative as well as the Student Union purchased wristbands. They sponsored 1,000 wristbands for UC students to go to the indoor sessions for free. Okay. So they're going to be promoting those come this week when school is back in session, and they'll be available at the student store and various other places. And we're hoping that all of those wristbands are in use, because we're really excited to have moved the festival to April, so that we could invite more students and host more students and faculty and others at this time of year. They've been away because it was the beginning of June, and by then it's either finals or something else, or they're dispersed and getting ready for the summer. So
well, I love the festival. I'm very excited about it. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think that if you haven't been, this is the time. We're very established now, but yet it's very fresh because there's new authors and new activities every year. So there's never been a better time, I think, to get on the Bay Area Book Festival bandwagon. So we hope to see the entire community come out, and people from all over too. I mean, this is really as much about community. It is a lot about community, and it's also about Berkeley stepping out to the broader region and the nation. And the world with this very unique and wonderful book festival that's taking the scene, the literary scene by storm.
Great, thank you so much. Just when you thought books were gone, here they are.
There we go. Exactly.
Welcome back.
Yes.
And thank you very much.
And thank you.
I'll probably see you at the festival.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Okay, thanks a lot. My next guest is Steve Budd. Steve Budd is an author and an actor, and he has a wonderful play at the Marsh Theater that will be running. Steve, tell us how long the play is running, and tell us something about it and how people can see it if they want to.
Wow, that's a lot in one mouthful.
No, you have several mouthfuls.
Okay,
Take your
it's been
time.
running for 8 weeks already, and there's something like that, and there's 3 more to go. Now through April 21st, Thursday nights at 8, Saturdays at 5, and there's one matinee, April 8th at 2, a Sunday. And it's called What They Said About Love, and it's a play I wrote and performing. It's a solo show, as most shows are at the Marsh in Berkeley and San Francisco, but this is at the Marsh in Berkeley. If people want to come see it, they come to the Marsh on Alston Way. They can get tickets by going to www.themarsh.org.
Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult.
No.
So tell me more, tell people who might be listening more. I saw the play and I really enjoyed it, but tell people more about it.
Sure. Well, it's a show I created from interviews, kind of following in the footsteps in a way of Anna Deavere Smith, who creates all her solo shows from interviews. So I interviewed like a few dozen couples, and I ended up using 5 of those interviews, 5 couples, and I play the couples, so that's 10 characters right there that I play, talking about their relationships, how they met, what the challenges are, what they love about each other, just a lot of aspects of their relationships come out. I was trying to learn for myself kind of how people make relationships work. And that was kind of the impetus for the show, was a relationship I was in that fell apart. And I tell the story of a romantic relationship as well. So I kind of weave in my own story of looking for the one, while also going back and forth between these 5 different couples. There's a lot of humor in it, but I think hopefully some good insights and feeling as well.
I am involved because my husband and I were the first couple interviewed.
And that's right.
It was right before my husband died 6 years ago that you interviewed us. And I have some wonderful love poems of my husband that I am going to read April 14th after the play, about 6:15. The play on April 14th. All the Saturday plays are at 5 o'clock.
That's correct.
I think that's great because then this is going to be an evening performance. I mean, after that, they can see that, and then they can do something else if they want to.
Go out to dinner or
Go
whatever.
out to dinner.
But yeah, I have a lot of special events planned after my performances, including this one involving you on the 14th.
What are some of the other special events?
Other special events are music playing, and I have panels of relationship experts coming. We have, I think on the 12th, we have the sexologist from Good Vibrations is coming to speak after the show. I'm spacing on her name right now, which is terrible. Queen, Doctor something. Does anybody know her name? you probably heard of her. But
Carol?
Carol Queen, I believe you're right. Thank you, Susan. So yeah, so special events like that, including the poetry of Morton's
Great.
Poetry that you'll be there to read with me.
What are the music events?
It's all at www.themarsh.org. They can go to my show page, and they'll see a whole list of events that are taking place after the show.
Is this your innovation to add these other things as part of the performance?
I mean, the Marsh actually gave me the idea. They suggested that I set up panels and maybe other events, and I came up with the idea of doing music and other things like that.
Yeah.
So I just kept reaching out to a lot of people.
Have they done this before with other
Panels for sure, but I think not quite as often as I'm doing it. I do it almost after every single
I
show.
know it. I know. People have really enjoyed
So it's
that.
it's a nice plus, an
It
extra.
is. It is an extra.
No extra charge. And some of the events take place, or most of them actually, in the Marsh Cabaret, which is adjacent to the theater.
Yeah.
So you can sit in kind of cabaret-style seating and get a drink if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, great. Are you working on something else, or this is
I'm
it?
too caught up with this right now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
hoping people will go to themarsh.org and get their tickets.
Okay.
So they can hear Morton's Poetry and see my show.
Yeah. Steve, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh.
I really wish you the best of luck with the play.
You're welcome. Thanks, Susan. Thanks for having me on and giving me a chance to let people know about what they said about love at the Marsh. And congratulations on your show. It's fantastic you're doing this.
I'm delighted to be doing it. I want to thank my other guests. I want to thank Brandy Brands from Bay Area Dance Week and from Ashkenaz. And I want to thank Sammy Roberts from Bay Area Book Festival. And if people just did some of these things in the month of April, they'd have a great time. In closing, I want to quote Rumi, who said, "Beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." The arts is a field where we can all meet. Beyond right doing and wrongdoing, it's a place for everybody. And I want us to find a place to really celebrate the arts in April. Things you can do that are free, things you can do them. Have a great month, and I will see you. Have a great month, and I will see you again the first Wednesday in May. If you have suggestions of people you'd like me to have on the show, people you'd like to be on at City Council, I'm going to read this address to you, and it's going to be on the screen. It's going to say artbeat@betv.org. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. Thank you very, very much. Good night, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank
Stay
you,
amazed.
Steve. Stay amazed. Thank you, Steve. Thank you
Yeah.
for the grace.